Before we get to anything else, I don't know how much of the doco that you guys saw, but let's engage with the conversation about nuclear and about nuclear energy. The former South Australian governor was featured in that documentary about the need to at least examine this as an idea, and the bans that exist at state and federal level need to change so we can at least examine a technology that I fully support.
When you think about an Australian submarine powered by nuclear energy parking at Port Adelaide or in Sydney Harbour, surely it's going to help people become a little bit more practical about the use of nuclear energy.
Yeah, I think it certainly will, Chris, but let's put that in perspective. That's likely to be around 2035 to 2040. If we're going to solve our climate issue, we need to have a lot of action underway by then.
Is a Royal Commission the way to do that?
I think it is. It needs to be one of those technologies that we consider. We shouldn't be afraid to ask the question. We're not saying let's have nuclear. We're saying let's look at the technology and see if it meets our energy needs into the future.
And we know that our mate Mark Latham is trying to get this to happen at the state level. We know that there are plenty, including Matt, at the federal level who want it to happen as well. But here's the Green Keen Treasurer in New South Wales saying no.
I mean, these people pursuing nuclear, it is like pursuing a fantasy. The reality is it doesn't stack up at the moment on practical grounds or on economic grounds. So people talking about nuclear to solve our current needs are chasing a unicorn.
But Matt Canavan, of course, unlike all of the other technologies where the unicorn is being chased and actively hugged at the moment, there are literally laws against us even really starting to dig into the idea of it. That's what makes it a different type of unicorn that you can't even look at.
Well, Paul, if nuclear is a unicorn, hydrogen is a pixie at the bottom of the garden. Nuclear power stations actually do exist. I know we've had COVID for a couple of years now, but Matt, to my mate Matt Keane, when the borders lift, mate, and it's not far away in your part of the world, get yourself over to Europe, get yourself over to massive amounts of other countries where they exist. In fact, of the 20 richest countries in the world, Australia is the only country that does not have a nuclear power station or is not building one or does not get nuclear power, in the case of Italy, from another country. We have the world's greatest uranium reserves, the largest amount of reserves. It is safe to do this technology. I've got a bill with my colleague Sam McMahon and other nationals. Sam is a big supporter of it, to remove the prohibition. It's silly to having a ban. Like, let's just let people bring a proposal forward. Let's start a process. It won't be built tomorrow. These things take probably 10 years or so to do. Let's start it now so that a future generation of Australians can make that decision. I worry if we keep kicking this can down the road, we're just making life tougher for Australians in the future that might have to make this decision.